All right. Moving on. Number 16. What does the value of b have to equal in order for this line to pass through 4, 8? So algebraically, what you should do is plug in 8 for y and 4 for x. Okay. And then figure out what b is like this. This is the clever way to do it. Okay. This would be half of 4 is 2. All right, subtract 2 from both sides, and you'll see b is equal to 6. The other way would be kind of weird. Okay, well, I guess you could just try all these different y-intercepts and then use your slope of 1/2 to see if it passes through 4, 8. What I was thinking was start off at 4, 8, which is about right here, and then use your slope to work backwards. Instead of going up 1 over 2 like that, you could go down 1 and left 2, and then again down 1 and left 2, and you're going to see right there that that's a 6 for your y-intercept. Okay, I mean, it's obviously positive, so it was either going to be 6 or 8. Anyway, what's the y-intercept? That's easy. It's -2. The y-intercept is the place where x is equal to 0, so it had to be -2. For what value of m will this pass through 3, -5? All right, I'm going to do the same thing. I'll plug in 3 for x and -5 for y. -5 equals m3 minus 7. -5, well, whatever. I'll just switch it around. I'm going to add 7 to both sides. That's going to give me +2 is equal to 3m. And now we'll divide by 3. Okay, so 2/3 is equal to m. Yeah, what you could do, I guess, is take each of these options for m. Like for 2, you would say y equals 2x minus 7. And then you could just plug in the point 3 for x and see if you get -5 back. Try y equals 3/5 x. Plug in 3 for x and see if you get -5 back. That's one way you could do it. Oh. Actually, wow. Yeah, another very easy way to do this one would be to plot the points. Okay, you know it passes through -7 because that is your y-intercept. 3, -5 would be 3 to the right, down 5. Okay. And you could just, figure out what the slope between these 2 points is. All right, 0, -7, and 3, -5. You could just do the slope formula between those 2 points, and that would tell you 2/3. Yeah. All right, it needs to be a linear function. So I guess what you could say is that everything should be proportional. Okay, so notice how these are all going up by 2. So over here on the right-hand side, these should also have the same common difference. Well, it should have a similar common difference. The answer is 5. All right, 13 minus 4 gives you 9. And 9 minus 4 gives you 5. 5 minus 4 gives you 1. The other way would be to do the slope formula a couple of times to compare those points. All right, for what value of m will this have an x-intercept of 6? I'm going to try to look at what this would look like graphically first. So 3 would be right here. That's our y-intercept. 6 is going to be over here. And, all right, the slope has got to be negative. Yeah, it's got to be down 1 over 2 between those points. If you count the rise is 3 and the run is 6. Or it's, of course it's going to be negative though. And that simplifies down to -1/2. The way you could do this is since since it has an x-intercept of 6, that means it passes through the point 6, 0. So you could plug in 0 for y, and then 6 for the x, like that. And then you could solve this equation. All right, move your 3 to the other side. You get -3. And then when you divide by 6, this is where your -1/2 comes in. Okay, for what value of x will the slope between the line have a slope of -3? Well, let's see. I think the best route would just be to guess and check. So if we want to test out option A here, all right, 2 for x, we would do 12 minus -6 over 2 minus 4, and then we would calculate this slope. Okay, 12 plus 6 is going to give us 18 on the top, -2 on the bottom. This is equal to -9. So that's not right. Okay, if I did it again, I would get 18 over, instead let me try -2 this time for x. That would be -2 minus 4, which is 18 over -6, which does come out to -3. There we go. So that does have to be our answer. The other way is to set up an equation. We'll just leave it in general form here. 12 minus -6 over x minus 4. And we want this to be equal to -3 over 1. To solve this, we would cross multiply. So this is 18 times 1, which is just 18. And then we would have to do -3 times this whole thing. Okay, we'd have to distribute the -3. -3x plus 12. Subtract 12 from both sides. That's going to give us 6 equals -3x. And then divide by -3, and that's where your -2 comes in. Okay. All right, what are the values of a and b in this table? All right, so they're telling us what x is on this first one. So when you plug in 3 for x, you're going to get a back. So I'm just going to do that. I'll do 1/3 times 3 plus 5. This is just 1 plus 5. So a is equal to 6. All right, so it can't be that one, and it can't be this one. And then the other one, well, you could plug in 18 for x and see if you get 11 back. We'll do it, we'll set up an equation, I guess. So the way you would say this is, what do you have to plug in for x? So it's 1/3 times some number plus 5, and we're trying to get 11 back for the y value. Okay, to solve this, you'd subtract 5 from both sides. So you're going to get 6 is equal to 1/3 x. And then you would multiply by 3 to cancel out the 1/3. Okay, and that's going to give you 18 is equal to x. Cool. I guess if you had enough time, you could just graph this and then, start looking for, where on that function does it have a y value of 11. And I guess that's only going to happen at that one spot at 18.